Radio，
是水花就是我，是水花就是我，指甲被拔了，我伤口被蚂蚁爬过。听说你看与你聊，是伟大领袖。我书写不出什么是爱，有千根针在手指覆埋。请问我放美，张金星就是我，张金星就是我，立着柔波，温热邂逅，痛不是痛。更杂自由，襁褓的绿岛仍然仍是难遮星光暗淡。请问我放美，张张美就是我，张张美就是我。妹妹妈妈清楚，台南女中金龟树下，有我给你的托付。生命用各种方式，一年的坚持血肉模糊。请问我放你，定要跳是我。
错的歌，错过一个入口，要数，要等下一个入口，或可能永不出现。错了一个音，就再错一个，一路错下去就对了。歌像世界一样严酷，狠狠鞭打那些不认命的人，但也只有在歌里，你可以呼吸。只有在歌里，你可以照顾那些在现实中碾压你、抛弃你及被你抛弃的人。你就是一首歌，但你唱出的是另一首。这就是为什么我们哭，我们也笑。
Okay. Hello, everyone, and welcome to Tohara Radio. What you just heard was Minyen's Should You Ask My Name? My name is Wei Dao, and it's an honor to host today's episode. For those listening, here's what the episode is going to be like. We'll be playing music throughout the next hour or so, and in between these selections, we'll be diving deeper into the story of Joe Trane and Melting Pot by talking about music. I'm joined by Melting Pot co-founder Nick, who is also today's co-host and DJ of the episode. Honestly, it's a special moment for us because today we will also be joined by two special esteemed guests. The first one is Taro Lin, and the second one is Minyen Hsieh. Before we begin, officially, I'd like to thank our sponsors, Worldwide FM and Studio Monkey Shoulder, for their support of Joe Trane, Melting Pot, and Toha Radio. Joe Trane started as a celebration of jazz in Taipei by like-minded artists and audiences in Xinyi District's Basement Cade. In the last 2 years, the event has since expanded into a one-of-a-kind contemporary listening experience with one mission: bringing people together to play and listen to jazz up close. Most recently, we were chosen by Worldwide FM as the recipients of their Studio Monkey Shoulder initiative, and we will work together with them for October 6th, Joe Trane All Day. More information on that later. And Melting Pot. Melting Pot is a Taipei-based creative agency that specializes in design, curation, and multidisciplinary event programming. Dedicated to cultural innovation and storytelling, they work to empower artists and to cultivate synergy between artists, audiences, and spaces. Born as an experimental jam between dancers and musicians in the spring of 2022, Melting Pot's work is guided by the spirit of cross-boundary curation. So, if you haven't already, make sure to follow Joe Trane, Melting Pot, Toha Radio, and Worldwide FM. We're about to head into our next music break, and once again, thank you all for tuning in. We'll be back later with our very first guest, Taro Lin. I'm gonna hand it over to today's DJ, 2KE, for Boulanger's Variation.
Yes. Welcome back. I'm your co-host for today, Nick Lee, and what you just listened to was Boulanger's Variation by Chen Lu from her album Built-in System, released in 2023. Chen Lu is a Taiwanese vibraphonist, and featured on this song was bassist Rit Hsu.
Richie Goods.
Yes. And the song you heard prior to this was 请问方明, Should You Ask My Name, by Taiwanese poet Hong Hong and saxophonist Hsieh Minyen, featuring Ling Lihui.
Thank you for that. Yeah, for those of you just tuning in, today's episode on Toha Radio, I'm here. My name is Wei Dao with my co-host Nick, and I finally get to introduce our first guest of the day, so I'm really excited for that. Now, I'm going to read because I don't want to mess this up. But as soon as I read this, we're getting into conversation time. So be ready. Our first guest of the day is Taro Lin. He's a Taipei-based Renaissance music man. With roots as a beat maker, vinyl DJ, and MC, Taro Lin is an integral part of Beats and Friends, Nodtown, and actively promotes beat culture, hip-hop, and cultural exchange in Taipei's music ecosystem. Let that breathe. In addition to his solo work, he has also been an extraordinary sound technician and music consultant for Joe Trane since our very first session. Representing Donghu and Keelung, please give a warm welcome, everyone present, to Taro Lin. If you at home by yourself, make some noise. Taro, what's up? Thank you for joining us. My dude. So, yeah, today's structure is that we're going to watch some stuff from Joe Trane, and then we're just going to kick back and talk about music. You know, we have some questions that we looked at together before, but we can wander wherever we need to.
Right on.
All right, cool. So, the first one that we have queued up is Chamakana. Why it's this one? Why are we choosing this one? Well, one, because the player in it, Hsieh Minyen, is our second guest for today. So, we wanted to get the audience hip to some of his work in case you haven't heard it before. Second is because, personally, this is what I feel like about this one. This was one of our more avant-garde and out there experimental songs that's appeared on the Joe Trane stage, right? There's use of like Star is doing unorthodox like vocal techniques. It doesn't come in the way like a standard song on the radio would, right? I feel like there's a lot of creative decisions being made that are new and fresh and also challenging for the audience. So I wanted to start with this one. But also, what do you guys remember about this one? Or should we say that after we play?
Yeah, we can say that after, but I think it would be nice to also introduce the other musicians in this band. So for this edition of Joe Trane, we have Star Wu on the vocals, we have Mike Zhen Yi on the keys, and we have Jian Yuming on the drums. And then, of course, we have Hsieh Minyen on the saxophone.
Yes.
Yeah. So yeah,
Right.
Let's get into it, and then I guess we can narrate a little bit as the video is playing.
Okay.
Like literally right at the start, right?
At the start of this whole.
Zhen Yi is not to be played with. For those of you who aren't sure, this is also Basement Cafe, located in Xinyichu, Taipei.
Basement Cafe is where Joe Trane was birthed.
What do you guys think so far? I feel like they were doing a lot without being very loud.
The thing about this recording is that Zhen Yi is like doing keys on one hand and bass on the other. So there's no really like low mid range as far as like keyboard goes, you know. So it was kind of tricky to like mix this recording.
You had the stems, right, at that time?
Yeah.
So Zhen Yi's track, there wasn't a lot of mid-range.
Yeah.
Straight bass.
Everything is up there, the bass down there.
I see. Do you listen to each track individually?
Yeah, yes sir.
this is the first time. Actually, let's listen to Minyen first.
First time what though? I'm curious.
It's the first time where we didn't have a bassist.
Oh, true.
Because Basement Cafe is not a large space, so it's always a challenge to have the band be comfortable in that space.
That makes me think about like keys too. It's like as an instrument, right? We're lucky to have keyboardists who can fill in for basses, you know, or just like operate bass at the same time. Yeah, so Chamakana.
Just want to fill in some background information. Chamakana is from Hsieh Minyen's album in 2023 called Our Waning Love. So if you guys like the music, you can check him out on all streaming platforms.
Right. So, okay. I wanted to bring it back to this conversation and us having Taro on the show, right? So this was an interesting one to start with. I don't think it was your first choice in terms of like the shows that come to mind, but what I had in mind for this one was talking about just like when you have musicians that are trying to bring in a lot of different shapes, what is your goal? Like, what is your goal in terms of setting a stage for something as messy and chaotic as this, but in a great way?
Well, that's a kind of hard question.
Oh yeah, I'm sorry. Maybe I can unpack that a bit and just start with like what are you hearing when you watch this again, like today?
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm thinking about a lot about like stuff that I could have done. Like I could have went like way more crazier with this whole recording as far as like mixing goes. I could have like I was thinking about adding like space echoes to the drums, playing a lot of like echoes, reverbs, and choruses on different elements of the mix. But you know, I still have to compromise. It's like that wasn't actually the show that was presented. So, you know, I was like, the part of me where I was more of an artist, I was like, man, I could have done this like in a way where you might heard it on a Herbie Hancock record.
Oh, I see.
Type shit.
Right.
Type stuff. I'm sorry.
No, it's
but you know, it was I mean, it was a blessing just to like revisit. I mean, just to mix this recording because I was there and this was the best song that I've heard from that show, and this is the first recording that I did, first mixing that I did for the show, and yeah, I did a whole lot, and this what you're hearing is a boiled down version of yeah.
What do you mean by boiled down?
Like as far as like plugins that were added, you know, a lot of stuff. I did some crazy stuff, but
so
this one,
it's like there was the option to really get creative or to change from a creative perspective, but out of, so that tells me that you care about like preserving the original.
Yeah.
Right. Okay.
But that also just showed like how potential, how far this show could have gone. Like this is just like it's perfect.
Right.
You know.
Are you pausing? Okay, I got you. Yeah. Nick, what? Curious, like same question for you hearing it again. Is there anything new that comes up?
I mean, I'm usually the first person that would hear whatever magic Taro does to the recordings. And also, I hear the struggle. It's like there is a way that the music sounds when you're in person in that room. There's a lot more layers that I feel like it's really hard to translate in the recording. So there's a lot of personal taste decisions that Taro has to make when he's mixing, right? It's like how do you give justice to the musicians that are playing on that day, but also balance it with what the audience is listening to, like they're listening, but
like, and also what you like personally know sounds good in your own experience. Yeah, I think makes a lot of different things. So it's almost like there's three. It's like you have to always find the middle path between three different things. Right? It's like there's like what happened, what it could be, and then the audience, right? Like the live version.
Yeah. And also something that I'd like to talk about a little bit more. So what I just mentioned, that he was doing keys on one hand, so there's no left hand involved. When it comes to like keyboards, so he's playing all these like endless stuff, or when doing solos, usually you would expect someone to like do stuff on the left hand too. But there's no, without the left hand, you're sort of like taking away the mid range of the whole mix. So yeah, I try to like give, whenever he set another preset, like whenever he went to another like keyboard sound, I would try to mix it differently. Sort of like add another like stereo image to it, or just like add a lot more reverb on like ambient stuff, and also the part where you play like a loud take kind of Middle East type of or the African type of solo. Do some with it to make it sound larger, but at the same time, it wouldn't like surpass what the audience would experience.
So you were adding independent like volume to different parts of the stage.
Yeah.
To almost like as an audience, you'll see him playing and then you play when he puts more in. It's very mainstream. It's very clear to us that he's adding another sound to their live from the studio.
Yeah.
So your way of like showing them.
Yeah. There's also like a lot of like bass level automation too.
Okay.
Certain notes, it just won't come through the mix, so I have to like boost it a whole lot.
I see.
Just to get that impact.
One more time,
whenever that
introducing
note
this
drops.
band right here on keys
What
and
percentage
bass.
of the I'm just curious, like of the mixing process is just dealing with volume, like not effects, no effects, no like reverb, just straight like
You know what? Like
volume automation.
maybe like 85-90%.
That's
'Cause
crazy.
I don't EQ much.
Okay,
Like
Huh.
it's all about leveling for me.
right.
Yeah.
I feel like I want to try and translate that for a general audience, just like what volume automation and why that's cool.
you can translate that for me.
Okay. So it's like when you're mixing something, you have a lot of tools, right? And then now with like modern DAWs, digital, I forget what the other two are, but like something workstation.
Audio workstation.
Digital audio workstation, right? You could add like reverb, delay, colors, like filter, saturation. There's like an endless, 有很多道具. But then what Taro said is 85% of what actually happens is just adjusting volume. 没有任何的 coloring tools, but it's like it's just like strictly adjusting volume, like how loud something is.
Yeah.
And that's crazy because it affects like space too, right? It's like just
Yeah.
like 你是在用 volume 去调整空间 also.
Yeah.
So English audiences, you're using like volume to adjust the sense of size. Like that's crazy. So yeah. Just that's the type of, well, not the type of, but that's one observation I think that only the sound engineer at Joe Trane share. It's like how much does volume play a role? Other thoughts about that, about like volume or on this subject before we head to the next song?
There's also something that I would like to share is that my ears as a sample-based beat maker, my ears are trained to like love all kinds of recordings. Like as far as like sometimes I would find a jazz band that was super obscure. It was recorded on one microphone, and sometimes I would find a prog rock record that was recorded in someone's garage on a 4-track. Yeah. And I also like love Marvin Gaye records. Yeah. Like with that range, I love all of them. I can still find like something adorable in those recordings. So for me, it's really about like trying to find the sound that fits Basement Cafe the most.
Trying to find the sound that fits the actual space.
Actually present what Basement Cafe is like.
I see.
You know, so, and that's really a lot has to do with the volume, the levels, and how much room mic that I'm pulling into the mix.
I see.
So yeah.
Like representing the space honestly.
Yeah.
As honestly as possible.
Yes, sir.
Right. Okay. Wow. All right. So let's head to the next song, and then this one is called FJYD. Okay.
FJYD is originally a track by Braxton Cook, and in case anyone's wondering what it stands for, it stands for F Juilliard Ya Dig. Yeah, and it's actually one of the songs that has been played the most times at Joe Trane events by different musicians.
It's almost become like a sub.
It's like a standard. It's like a standard of Joe Trane almost.
Yeah.
So this is Jenny Tai on the flute.
Hsieh Zhonghan on bass, Han on bass, PTK Guoguo on keys, and Lin Ziqi Benny on drums.
I think this was the first Joe Trane event where I felt like it was lit. Like the audience was like, they were dancing, you know.
It was lit.
It was lit.
I do remember that, like Jenny that night, or just like, because you know how we organize a lot of our, our show promotion and stuff around the special guest. I just remember that after she stepped on this time, yeah, like it was kind of different.
Right.
So, FJYD. And what I wanted to ask Taro for this one was recording the audience. Because just now you mentioned room mics, right? And representing Basement Cafe in the space. So obviously, there's people in that space. What do we do about them?
Okay. It's funny that you mentioned, like, brought back the room mic stuff. Because for this one, I didn't use the room mic.
There was no room mics.
I brought the microphone, but I forgot to have Dabao bring in the stand. So we didn't use it.
Oh, but did you use the mic on the camera?
The camera was like super saturated.
Okay.
It was overdriven, so that just showed like how much noise that was coming from the audience. And also, I did like pull up the audience noise from several mics, which is your mic and Jenny's mic. Yeah, I was doing that.
So you there was no, let me rephrase that for someone who isn't familiar with mics. It's like you were able to rescue the audience sound, even though you didn't have a mic to record the audience sound, using two mics of performers.
Yes, sir.
To bring it back in.
Yeah,
from the corners.
Yeah.
That's great.
Because at the time you wasn't using the mic that can just switch off.
Yeah.
So there was a lot of rooms in there, so I just brought it up.
Yeah.
So it was interesting just to listen to this because that's exactly how lit the space was. Like people were just screaming, people just body rocking to PTK solo right here that you're just listening to. It's crazy.
Oh no, I just wanted to add to the crowd reaction because this was the first time where I saw the audience give energy back to the musicians to the point where the musicians went up another level in their playing. Like it was a conversation between the musicians and the audience.
I feel like that's something that we've been striving for and aiming for forever since the start. You know, it's like the audience and the musicians moving as one, or them having crosstalk and kind of being able to change each other's states. So it's cool to watch this one again because I do see how that happens.
This one set the bar really high.
Yeah. And it's like they were tight, you know, and I feel like you hear people say that all the time about, it's like, oh, this band is tight, this band is tight. But I mean, they're tight and they never perform together. Right. Like in this way. So that's another thing that I would like to share about Joe Trane is like we try to change the combination of musicians in the unit each time. And even though we have invited people more than once in the past, something about that I think is really important to the nature of improvisation and keeping things fresh. It's like you might not have played with this exact set before, and then that's what can trigger like the chain reaction or some new stuff. You know? So yeah, a little bit more about the inside. So I want to ask about just like that crowd balance thing. Because for this one, they were lit. Right? They were super loud and you could hear them from like a mic or something. Now let's talk about the other sections, all the other sections that we've done. It's like, is the crowd an important piece? You can zoom out just think about Joe Trane.
Yeah, definitely. Because, like you said, like you always say, like the audience reaction would directly affect how the musicians play. So sometimes they would just like perform way better. They would just like locked in. They would be super tight. And when they're doing super well, there's really the less I have to worry about the recording. You're just like recording greatness,
right?
You know,
you don't have to.
I just go back to my leveling, and also, that's all I have to do.
Yeah, volume.
Yeah.
I see. So it's like each time, right? It's like they have, by that definition, they have to be there each time in every single mix. It's like if the audience is if they're in the recording, you'll bring them out.
Yeah.
Okay, I see. I also, so my last question for you specifically about this one was that I remember you said it's your favorite recording.
Yeah.
Is it because it was lit? Or is it
Okay, so there are like two factors to it. The first one is they're just locked in.
Yeah.
As a band, you know, the keys are on point, the drums are on point, the flute is on point, the bass is on point, and you just instantly get a super nice recording out of that. And the second thing is this is the first time that I actually used Dabao's equipment, like microphones. I don't know his microphones, I don't know what he has, and all the placements, it was just really experimenting. So I have no idea what would come out. But we somehow got a kind of recording that sounds like drum breaks, right? That kind of like really hip hop stuff that people would want to sample. And that was my first approach to this, and I really like how it turned out to be. And I usually just like work with whatever I had, and it turned out great, and it just became my favorite mix I've ever done my whole life. I mean, there's a lot to improve too, like as far as like spatial thing, the stereo image. Like we were recording the keyboard in mono, so there's only like on the left channel, and I somehow made it like stereo, and the bass and stuff. There's a lot of work to it, but at the end, it's just I think I brought the energy out of the energy of the show that recording.
So it's like in your progression, this one is like I know I hit that.
Yeah.
Right.
And it's the first one.
And with new mics, like with unknown tools, but you were able to get something that you're like, yeah, that's what I felt like at the end.
Yeah.
Yo.
I think in a way you're almost like one of the band members. So you're improvising with whatever you're getting. You're contributing to the music that was played that day,
right.
Just at a different time,
Okay.
right?
Thank you.
There's a mutual friend of ours that named RGRY, Randy, right? And I just remember a long time ago he said like, yo, mixing is an instrument. I was like, what? What do you mean? He's like, mixing is an instrument. He's like, it's present along with the other instruments in the setup. So I feel that too. Yeah. Okay.
Live jam or SFA?
Yeah. How do you feel between these two? We could go to the Minyen live jam, or we could go to Soul Fonte, Donna Lee.
I think live jam is pretty interesting topic that we
Okay.
can.
好。Respectful fade. Okay. Donna Lee.
Left jam.
Oh, sorry.
这个可能要再短一点。
Okay, just like 30 seconds. Yeah, how much are we at?
For Taro's segment, we're like 20 minutes already.
Okay.
It was 20 minutes total.
Yeah.
So we can do another 5.
Short second.
Okay.
Should we just go from the top or should we go from the middle?
Can we start from the very beginning, actually?
Okay. We're
I
gonna.
just want to give some background info on this moment, right? So, as the curators of the event, we promised our audience that they would be listening to 45 minutes of the band, right? And then, for some reason that day, the set list was a little bit shorter than usual. So there was like, I think, a good 5 to 8 minutes left. And then we looked at the band and we asked them, what should we do? So then they were like talking to each other, trying to figure out what to do. And then La Lin on the bass, well, not on the bass right now, he's on the shaker right now.
Right.
He just started this jam with one, I don't know what you call that, like it's like
An
a chant,
egg,
like
an egg shaker.
right?
Like an egg shaker.
He just screamed something into the mic, and we're gonna hear it in a second.
Okay.
And then that triggered this entire jam that we're about to listen to. So
Yeah.
Well, you know what? They actually started the jam earlier than this clip. They did like a 2 or 3 minutes of the jam, and they stopped halfway because I stopped them. I was like, hey, put your shaker like right next to the microphone so I can record it.
oh, so this was a break in
Yeah,
the
yeah.
jam, and then they were trying to figure out what to do next, and then this is what happened.
Yeah,
right?
yeah, yeah,
Okay,
exactly.
okay.
Taro was like, we can't hear the shaker step up, and then you changed, like you hosted.
I was like, yo.
Taro hosted for a second, and then
Right.
was like, yo, move in front of the mic, and then that's where we're starting.
Yeah.
All right.
That's the moment that we're about to start from.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. Pivotal moment. Let's go. Oh my goodness.
I have no idea what he just said, but
It worked. It said Walla Buck.
I thought he said, "What about?"
Yeah, whatever he said, it said it all. Who brought the shaker?
La Lin did. So this is Minyen on the bass, Yurong on the guitar, and Tingjun on the drums.
It was funny, like you were like shouting, like, can you like bring it down? Like, yeah, I have no idea
So we talked about crowd reaction earlier, right?
Yes.
At some point in this clip, I don't know if we're gonna get to it later, but La Lin gives the shaker to an audience member.
Oh,
the
yeah.
audience member started to use the shaker.
Yeah. So I guess another way to look at this is like this was like the most dissolved that the barrier between the audience and the musicians had ever been. This was like one of the most locked in, synchronized that the audience and our musicians were, right? Like
Right.
in all of our sessions. Okay, cool. I'm gonna leave that on, and we can. This is our last one in terms of today's like reaction time. So open ones after watching a segment again from either of you. Just like what are you thinking at this point?
So this one is like right after the Jenny show,
Mhm.
what we just heard, the FJYD.
Mm-hmm.
And as you can hear, I implemented a proper room mic in there, and I actually brought it. It became the body of the whole recording, you know. So yeah, when I was doing that, I was really thinking about like what Basement should have sound like, and yeah, I think so. I wasn't using a lot of like reverbs and echoes on all the stuff. All of the acoustics came from that room mic. Yeah, and then also like sometimes when you hosting with your mic, I I would put reverb on it, but all of the sound, the spatial sound came from that room mic. And this is like the first time that I ever done this.
I see.
You know,
I see. So
just to.
This one was also like a new structure. Like mixing wise, it was like there was a new tool.
Yeah.
And then for people who aren't sure, am I correct in saying a room mic is a mic just used to record
the room?
Space?
Yeah.
Right, okay.
Exactly.
Cool.
Yeah.
Cool. Oh, so this marks a new setup.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Nick, is there anything else you wanted to share about the live?
Yeah, I just wanted to add, like, I feel like the amount of care that Taro puts into mixing and like recreating that moment in his own way, I think it's super important for Joe Trane, because that's how a lot of people discover us. It's from the videos that we put on YouTube, you know, and then paired with the visual, like you get a sense of what exactly happened at Joe Trane, and then a lot of our friends discovered us through that. You know, so I just want to give props to Taro.
Hell yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah, no, honestly, that was a big part of us, like, preparing for today's episode, is just, like, I guess formally, and also while being kind of, like, on air, letting you know that it's like, yo, this is impossible without you, you know? So,
Thank you.
Yeah, your stylistic touch is, like, shaping how people perceive the music, so.
My man.
Yeah, it's huge. It's huge. So, the conclusions... Joe Trane has changed a lot, right, from the start till now. We were able to see a couple different sessions at different points in time. That concludes the interview section and like the reaction section of today's podcast. So, not podcast, radio. So, thank you.
Thank you.
We're about to head into our music break. And
is there anything that Taro you want to say to the audience before we go to the next segment?
Keep it jazzy. Keep
it jazzy.
Keep it jazzy. And yeah. Hope y'all have a productive day. Peace.
Thank you.
It's a disease with no cure, a curse you can escape, a sudden blur. It's all it takes to make you fade away. Within the need to see, the need to breathe, the need to be finally free. But the choice is made, excuse
Yes. So we just listened to the first track we just listened to is called Nor Jazz by Taro Lin. It's a unreleased track on his up and coming debut album Noisegate. And the track we just listened to was called No Time by Robot Swing, featuring Star Wu and our very special guest that is about to join us.
So it's my pleasure to introduce this guest because we've known each other for a while. We've worked together for a while. I'm going to read it again because I don't want to mess this up and introductions are important. So, Hsieh is a Taipei-based saxophonist celebrated for a number of things. He's described by his colleagues as a brave explorer in music, a player with a dynamic range of musical output and expression, a champion of cultural exchange, traveling and performing extensively throughout Asia and Europe, having recently toured in Japan. And while Hsieh is often described in the context of jazz, he is by no means concerned or limited by the boundaries of that word. In fact, he sees jazz as something much more fundamental, core, and human. So please, everyone present and listening at home, give a warm welcome to Hsieh. Thank you for joining us today. Hey.
What's up? Hey.
Okay.
Yeah, great to be here.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you for your time.
欢迎明彦，
Yeah.
欢迎明彦。
Yeah.
Okay, so my first question, just so that we can, for the listeners,
Yeah.
connect Joe Trane with you, with Melting Part. My first question was just like, how did you hear about us?
I think I got invited to play at Joe Trane probably first or second event.
I think it was the first
First?
Joe Trane. It was the first event we had that was called Joe Trane.
Okay. Yeah, before it was
There's no
no
name.
name yet, not
Yeah.
yet. Yeah. So it was I think one year, something like that. 1 or 2 years.
Joe Trane was still really young. So.
Yeah.
I think
so,
that
yeah.
was actually crazy. It was 2 years ago. I think it was November.
All right.
November.
Yeah.
Coming November.
It would be 2 years ago after.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. So we're almost at 2.
Yeah, I remember it's in the Basement Cafe, and it was I have been there like a couple of times, but for different reasons, but never like played there. So it was very nice, very like how to say the audience are so close to musicians, because the places are small, so very intimate. And how to say, like, also I think the audience of hip hop side, they are much more how to say, more passionate and react to the music
you
a
mean,
lot.
Like is this compared to the jazz
Yeah,
listeners?
normally jazz listeners, they sit there and then they clap hands. It's a bit more how to say, more active than the classical musicians.
I
But
see.
still, if you compare with like hip hop sings or rock, like a band sings, it's really different.
Do you think that kind of energy, like that you're describing from 会听嘻哈的粉丝, right? It's like 这种能量. Do you think it's necessary to have more of that, or it's like?
Yeah, I think so, because when we doing live shows, the audience is really part of it.
Right.
Yeah. It's 50% actually, 50% from the performers and 50% from the audience.
Yeah.
Exactly. We share the space,
Yeah.
and then we share live. Yeah, like this maybe 45 minutes we take our like.
Put your heart out there, right?
Yeah. 45 minutes of your life, we share it, we spend it together.
Yes.
Yeah, that's really important. Yeah,
That is important. We were actually just talking about that with Taro too. Just like at Joe Trane, like our main thing is just audience, artist, space. It's like we gotta put those three things together. Like
Yeah, to me it's like because before Joe Trane I was participating like several other different hip hop events.
Right.
For example, That's My Shit.
Yeah, we talked about this.
Yeah, OST. I mean, Leo. Yeah, he's my big man.
Right.
Yeah,
Right.
he's the guy who leads me into this. How to say these things? Yeah, connecting to the older rappers, DJ. Yes, but like every artist or every group people, they have a different way to perform, to control, to make up this flow.
True,
Yeah,
true.
yeah. So what I think from Joe Trane is like, you guys are very into details. Yeah.
怎么
So
说 like can you tell me more about
怎么
that?
说比较照顾到就是可能演出的细节。Yeah, because for example, like you guys have more requests to the to the repertoires actually.
Oh, I see.
Yeah. I mean, in a way, it's kind of a trap to the musician, but in a way, you can also feel that because it's really a production.
Right.
It's not just like okay, we do something, we jam together, bang, and then see how it goes.
Like, pray to God.
Yeah, but I mean, of course, still we got. I mean, at least from my experience, we got quite big enough space.
Yeah.
Yeah, and in the end, we create something together in the live on the stage. So yeah, it was fun.
That's
Yeah,
really
always.
no. Thank you for that
Yeah.
feedback about like
Yeah,
attention
yeah.
to detail and the flow of the performance. Wait, but 你刚刚讲 you said like repertoire, and I'm just curious about this, like not related to Joe Trane. Repertoire can be a trap for the musicians. Like, just what can you tell me more about that?
It feels like okay, you know what you're gonna do before you go on stage.
太确定.
Yeah. I mean, it depends. You 就是两个不一样的方法。You can do it like totally with open, and you see what's happening, and you react,
Yeah.
and you try to do something at the best, at the best of you at the time. Yeah,
Right.
And the other side is like you have some kind of a plan already.
Yeah.
And then you try to like it's like a blueprint.
Right.
It's not 100% sure how it goes, but you got at least like a general picture of that.
There's still like a guide rail. Like,
Yeah.
just
But
in
still,
case.
it's always something happening during the adventures.
Yeah.
So it might bring you some surprise, and it always do, and we always make it happen.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that actually does connect to my second question. And thank you for your answers about the 外面的东西 as well. So you said that at Joe Trane you feel like there's an attention to detail, and because part of today's episode is we want to share the story of Joe Trane with other people.
Yeah.
So my second question was actually if you had other 重点 or other things to describe us.
Yeah, and I think the character. It's nice, like this
the
dog
dog?
thing. Yeah,
Shout out to the dog, yo.
Shout out to Joe Trane.
For everyone, shout out
They
to
should
our
make
show.
more like a 周边商品 out of it. Yeah.
你会最想要看到什么周边商品？就跟这只狗。
Maybe some like moving pictures.
Moving pictures.
Like animation.
First animation
Yeah,
thing.
like cartoon
first.
animation.
动起来
Yeah.
OK.
Or he can talk, or he can play some music. Maybe play saxophone, play piano. Yeah, that'll be really cool. Yeah. Yeah.
If Joe Trane ever does a saxophone solo animation, would you be interested? Just.
Yeah, I can do the background.
That'd be crazy.
Yeah.
That would be crazy. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, so
Love to that.
there's the dog, the space, and then
Yeah.
like you said, Basement Cafe, right? It's super.
Yeah,
close
and then
with-
also I think the audience you guys getting together, it's quite different. How to say? 不一样的一群人.
Yeah.
I mean, to me, it's fresh. Yeah. I mean, I love to play to the different audience, different gender, different ages. Yeah. Different places.
Right.
Yeah.
Before I ask my question, I just want to give a shout out to Basement Cafe.
Oh, yeah.
And
Yeah.
Megway, the owner of Basement Cafe,
Megway.
because they were very courteous to let us have Joe Trane in their space in
Yeah.
the beginning when we didn't know what we were doing.
Yeah.
Right. So we talked about this earlier, but Minyen was one of he's the first guest in the very first Joe Trane.
Okay.
And then this
EG.
year,
Yeah.
was
yeah.
it this year? This year in May,
We did once, yeah.
Yeah,
one again.
Minyen came
Yeah,
back
yeah,
for the
yeah.
second time.
With Taro, I remember.
Yeah, Taro was the
he's doing
sound-
the DJ.
he was the
before
DJ.
the
Yeah.
show. Yeah.
Yeah. So my question to you is like, what type of difference or change did you observe from the first time you were at Joe Trane and
Yeah.
this year when you came back for the second time?
从第一次到今年5月，有感觉不一样吗？
Yeah, the second, it's quite different because the first time we only play one set in the evening,
Right.
and it's in the late evening, like I think something like 10
Yeah.
till 11 or something. Yeah, it's different energy at the time. Yeah, and it was more open, improvised. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, the second time was like, okay, we do like afternoon shows and evening shows, and we have featuring singers.
Yeah.
So we have a more or less like a more plan
Yeah.
of the how the show.
More of a blueprint,
Yeah,
like-
the
like you said.
blueprint things. Yeah, and I mean, frankly speaking, I mean to play 2 shows in a day, it's a bit tiring. Yeah,
Right,
yeah, but somehow I remember that day. The afternoon show. I mean, we kind of like we have like more energy, more 比较有精神. But I think the music turns out it's much more way much better in the evening.
Evening.
Yeah, because we're kind of exhausted, so we're kind of like, fuck it. Who cares?
Yeah.
Oh, can we say that? F
可以
word or
可以
something?
可以
Okay,
可以
yeah,
可以
yeah,
可以
yeah.
It was
So
already
we just like we just play. Fuck that shit.
Yeah.
And we do it, and then it turns out, wow, great.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's almost
yeah.
like 你没有体力 to worry about being
Yeah,
perfect,
yeah,
so
yeah,
you
yeah,
end up
yeah,
being
yeah,
perfect,
yeah,
right?
yeah.
I feel you.
Yeah.
I feel you.
Because normally when you're doing a tour, like you're doing a program, a set of program, and you're doing a tour,
Yeah.
normally the worst counts is the second one.
The worst show is the
Yeah,
second show
yeah,
when you
yeah.
have to repeat.
Yeah, because the first, I mean, normally the first one you feel fresh,
Yeah.
Yeah.
nice, and then, okay, there's some magic moment. So in the second show, you're kind of like, okay, I want to,
I'm gonna do that again.
yeah, do that again, like trying to reproduce that, or yeah, there's something I fucked up in the first show. I want to make it back, like a second one. And usually it's not work.
Right.
Yeah. Yeah.
Right.
So then come from the third show, it's going up.
Oh, so
again.
how it's
Yeah.
saying you'll go like, and then it goes back.
Yeah, but I think also because we realized that that's our last show in the day, so we just give it over whole. Yeah.
I think
Yeah,
that
we give it
night
all, yeah.
the audience also pushed you guys a little bit too. I think the
Always, I think
audience-
always,
Yeah.
yeah.
I remember it was one of my favorite Joe Trane
Wow,
Right.
thanks.
ever.
Yeah, me too.
It was
Appreciate
magical, magical.
We were just listening to 那天晚上的 Chamakana
Wow.
with Taro, actually. Like that and the live recording version.
Wow,
So.
nice.
Yeah. Okay. Thank you for your feedback about us also. And I just wanted to say, since their names came up in the episode, special shout out to Leo 37 and also Leo Wong.
Yeah.
Because I think that's how we met. We actually met at an OST event.
And OST at the Revolve, I remember.
Yes.
Yeah, I was thinking, wow, this guy can really do like free things.
That's like-
yeah, and really like rhythmically strong.
Was I freestyling that time? I think so.
I
right?
remember, yeah, because OST is always free style. It's kind of
Yeah.
like Leo is doing performance and the MC host, and then he's
Sounds
like
like,
asking
yeah.
people, okay, now it's your turn, or now it's you, and then
Yeah.
and then you versus who,
Right,
and
he
do
would-
what, yeah.
Yeah, he would
Yeah.
direct the whole thing.
I mean, he's kind of like the I mean, I learned a lot from him, that how he embraced the stage and the audience. Yeah. And the energy is really amazing. Yeah.
I remember I was like, wait, we're just gonna go on stage and jam, and then that time there was also Matt. There was a guitar
Matt?
player.
Yeah,
Matt.
Matt.
Anyway,
Yeah,
so
yeah.
everyone was just, it was seamless. So yeah.
Yeah.
I think that energy that you said too about
And he
hip-hop.
was I think probably he was the first guy in hip hop that, I mean, hip hop scenes of Taiwan, who brings the live band into the, like, cooperate with the rappers.
Right.
Yeah.
跨这个,
Yeah,
right?
yeah,
No,
yeah,
that was
yeah.
it was really important. So
I think this is like, it really brings like a huge impact to the scenes here. And then we used to have a really great band in the during his first album.
That
period. Yeah, it was really killing.
Wow. I think I've heard recordings of that.
Yeah. And then we did most of the OST by the band members.
No, I think that was one of my first shows in Taiwan. So just wanted to say, shout out to them.
Yeah.
Thank you for that.
Great.
Okay.
Yeah.
So now this next one, and I'm looking at this one right here. I'm gonna do a little bit of like 先铺一个层,
Okay. Yeah, sure.
Okay.
No problem.
So this comes from my own personal thoughts about just like what is an artist here to do. 先讲就最 just like what are we doing, right? Like So it seems like one of the most beautiful and important things about every artist is that they have a mission, right? There's something they're trying to accomplish that 还不存在, okay? Or something they're trying to say, something they're trying to bring into the world that's not there yet. Now, from your releases, Our Waning Love in 2023 and the Soulful Night of Jazz and Poetry from the year before, what I felt like listening to that was that the spirit of experimentation, and also crossing boundaries were two almost like driving forces in your work. But that's me as a listener. So today on when we were actually together, I wanted to ask you, like, what is that for you, or at least for these last 2 years?
Yeah.
What's been on your mind?
Yeah, like we can kind of like back to the basic, like what you mentioned. What is the mission of the artist?
Well, what we do.
The artist, or what are they doing, or what is art? Yeah, to me, it's kind of like it's more. How to say? It's not. I mean, it's also like you want to accomplish something, you go for some direction, but to me the bigger part it's just to reflect like 消化东西. Just what you hear, what you feel, and what you want to be, how to say, 被听到沟通, 你想要人家了解你, you want other people.
You want to be heard.
Yeah, I want to be heard. You want to be. Yeah. How to? I mean, who are you?
Right.
Who are you actually? The you and the world. What's the connection? What's the relationship between? Yeah. I
see.
Yeah. So either Our Waning Love or jazz poetry is kind of reflecting the stage, the situation where I am during that time. Yeah.
I guess I wanted to ask you, where were you at that time? Like what led to, maybe just for our.
I mean, like.
Because I know you were touring in Japan, right?
Yeah. It's like. I mean, I'm come from jazz.
Okay.
Yeah, but like you said in the introduction, I mean, jazz to me. The more I go dig deep, the more I realize, okay, it's not really just about, I mean, the jazz,
right?
Okay, improvisations of swing or blues or African American tradition, those sort of stuffs. Yeah, to me, it's more about really reflecting. You speak by music, how to say, 很自然的 just improvise on the spot. Yeah, and to cooperate with different people. Yeah, so it doesn't limit to the musicians or music sounds only.
Right.
Yeah, and the literature is one of the, I think, something that I really enjoy, really love with. Yeah, and I had some chance to cooperate with people from the like 诗人 poetries.
Right.
Yeah. Either improvised or just like
pre-recorded,
read it out, or you kind of like compose around it. Yeah. So and during that time it's like so we had this great performance in, I think, in the Taipei 诗歌节. Yeah, it's about this jazz poetry. Yeah. So we did that performance and it was really great. But I feel okay. There's still something we can make it better, or we can more focus, because in the life, so many things happening, and it's hard to focus. Yeah. Or leave something. Yeah, because people reading poetry and the music's going on at the same time.
Right.
So I want to make document it well.
Right.
Yeah. So I
Oh,
proposed
okay.
to the producer, Hsieh and Taro. Yeah. So I said, we should like document it properly.
And like turn.
Yeah.
So that's what led to it actually
into
being
to the album. Yeah.
So it was a live jam that got turned into a music release. Okay.
Yeah.
Huh.
And then I think it's kind of a special record because it's so many information at the same time. It feels like it's nice, easy listening, but still many things going on.
There's still challenges in it. Yeah.
In the beginning, I was kind of referring to more like a more experimental way
Sure,
to do
sure.
that. Yeah, maybe like a lot of improv and
Yeah.
really crazy things. Yeah, but Hong, he told me, he wants to make a record that's enjoyable. You want to listen it again and again and again.
Right.
Yeah, so that changes me.
I see.
Yeah. I
You
said,
like let more space.
Yeah, so why don't we just really make a pure like a standard kind of things? We just play songs
Accessible for many
or
different.
we just accompany the poem. Yeah.
I
就
see.
是对乐手来 as a for jazz musicians like we learning standard when we during or 我们的成长时间 we learn a lot of standards. Yeah, but in the end it's other people's stuff. Yeah. So normally when you're making records, normally when you're making record or making your own artist, how to say the improvement. Yeah, you want to do original stuff or something really. It's not the old things. Yeah. But I mean, this leads me to a chance that I can use this old-fashioned way, old manner of music, but still I put some spicy into it.
Some new touches in there.
Yeah.
现在的空气.
Yeah.
Right.
所以其实 and then I experiment a lot of during the mixing.
Oh,
things.
really?
Yeah.
What was like? Do you remember like one crazy part about the mixing process, or like an interesting choice that was specific?
Yeah, we
to
kind
that?
of put the lyrics. Yeah, some of the tracks there's like people reading
Yes.
poem and then singing at the same time.
Yes.
And normally when you have that, you will kind of like you do kind of like side chain or something. You kind of separate the reading part and the singing part. But we make it like really close. It's like you simultaneously happening in the same time.
很密.
Yeah.
Okay.
很密. So maybe first time you don't really get everything. Okay, there's a people reading and there's a singing. Yeah, but then it leads you to listen back to the track second time.
Right.
I think that actually really happened because earlier in the show we actually played 请问方明.
Oh yeah. Wow.
And
that's
that's
haunting song.
Right. It's
I was listening to that when this afternoon actually. Yeah.
Synced up.
Yeah. So crazy.
Yeah, and I think to add to what you were saying earlier, I think there's also a layer of like I guess culture.
Yeah.
That's added because if I'm not mistaken, the bass of that song is actually Nina Simone's
Yeah.
Women, right?
Yeah.
But then the poetry is actually about 4 women in the White Terror period in Taiwan.
Yeah. It's like a Taiwan's version of 4 women.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
So like cultural, also like cultural lens over the like technical lens as well. I see.
Yeah.
But then also paying heritage to like
Both.
African American jazz music at the same time.
And it's like through the choice of sampling or reference that you can create these like lines. Like it's insane.
Yeah, and then you know in the non-confined space, the second album, we did a sequel of this song.
Of this one.
Yeah, with Leo.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. You can check that out.
Yeah.
It was, that one's even we go further.
Okay.
Yeah.
It's like the brother or relative to
Yeah, we kind of like we it's a same, we're talking about same story but from different perspective, different point of view.
I see.
Yeah, the 请问方面 is more like a third person of view.
Okay.
Yeah， 我没有罪，
第三种是
我没有错，然后我是谁 ？And then you change your character. Yeah, it's kind of. I mean, still like a, how to say first person, but I describe what happened.
I see.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, and then but in the chorus violin, the non-confined space versions,
Yeah.
it becomes like a. She, my wife, Li Hui, she directly speak out what the character says.
I see.
Yeah.
It becomes first person.
Yeah. Even more close. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. And then in the second part of the song, same like we got another poet reading. Yeah. The first one is like from Hong Hong. Yeah, he wrote this poetry tribute to the Nina Simone. Yeah, and then also tribute to the what's happened.
Right.
Yeah. And then in the Leo's version, yeah, he's doing like this super heavy, crazy rap. Yeah.
Okay.
It's also talk about the same thing. It's kind of like you are in the now the how to say 现在这个时间 and then you look back and you describe what's happening and then
忽然来到了 present day.
Yeah. And then I mean on that track we do like in a really like a hip hop way. We sampling the piano and the saxophone from the 请问方明
From this one.
Yeah. And then into
Okay.
that song.
That's dope.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Nice.
And in the end, yeah, we sample the like 逝水环就是我，张敬信就是我 the last four phrase. Yeah, we kind of like 谜底揭晓. This yeah.
Wow.
That's the story. Yeah, it's
We got-
us.
We gotta check
Yeah,
that out. It's like
check
you,
that out.
you realize
Please.
it's me.
It's
Okay.
so nice.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah. So anyway, that was the I think my how to say
Inspiration.
my inspiration with literature with poem. Yeah, and then our winning love is like it's kind of a reflection that the people I met in Japan.
Okay.
Yeah, and the environment, the things that I discovering.
你刚刚说的是去 reflect and document
Yeah,
that
yeah,
space and
yeah,
time.
yeah,
Okay, I
yeah,
see.
yeah,
No,
yeah.
that definitely answers the question. It's like
Yeah.
one is an interest in poetry and literature and the culture.
Yeah.
And then the other was documenting or honoring like your experiences at
Yeah,
the
because
time.
I met this super pianist, Sgadailo.
Okay.
Yeah, he was like I think the strongest pianist that I ever played with.
Wow.
Yeah.
Can I ask why? Like,
Why?
Just
I
like
mean,
what-
he's just like so powerful, so strong, and then the style it's more like really free, wild, like Yamashita Yosuke, 山下洋辅. I mean that kind of a really crazy way of playing. Yeah, and then he's bring that like even further. Yeah,
Right.
yeah. So, and then he's listening, reacting, and then he's not limiting himself. Yeah. So it was, I think the first concert we did is like maybe 2018 or 17. Yeah. And I feel that, wow, this guy, wow, I really
Special.
want to make a record with him. Yeah. Yeah, so 2018, 2019, and then it's
Right.
the Corona. Yeah. We're supposed to make this record at 2020 actually,
I
but
see.
because of Corona, so everything's suspended till 2002. Yeah, in Taichung Jazz Festival.
22.
So I invite them to come to Taiwan,
Oh.
and then we play several concerts, and we go into the studio
I
right
see.
after that. So we
Wow.
bring the fire,
Into-
from the stage to the studio.
就是演完就去录音室这样。
隔天
Crazy. That's still
that record, I think we did record maybe in total maybe 3 hours.
Okay.
Yeah, just one afternoon, get it done, and then bang. Yeah.
This is like, for me personally right now, this is like hearing the director's cut of a movie. You know what I mean?
Yeah, like a DVD.
Yeah.
DVD.
You know, you
director's cut,
especially
yeah.
get to hear the
Yeah.
director's cut. Okay.
Before we continue,
Yeah.
to ask Minyen more questions, I think I want to play a song from Our Waning Love.
Wow.
Oh, go for it.
Wow.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't have it queued here, but I'm gonna play on my phone and can post edit it.
Sure.
So,
Right.
is there a song that you would want us to share with the audience from this album?
Just pick anyone. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Then let's just go with the title of the album.
All right.
Finding Love.
Right.
Okay.
Okay.
Let's do it.
feel different. Yeah.
Okay, so we just listened to Our Waning Love, the title track of Our Waning Love.
Wow.
Right?
Yeah.
And
thanks.
yeah, we just wanted to have a moment to share feedback about the song, thoughts after listening.
Yeah. What do you feel? How does it feel? Yeah.
Well, I think it being the title track, I think it's like, you know how it's like, well, we were just talking about how to start, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I think with this one as a start, it sets the tone really, really well. 它没有就是把马放开乱跑.
Yeah.
It keeps
yeah,
it reined.
Yeah.
But you have to walk with us. If you choose to, you walk with us until the song. But 你走到最后的话，我感觉那你就已经是 you're already on board.
Yeah.
If you finish the
Nice.
song,
Yeah.
you're already on board.
Yeah, you're ready for the second.
Is that
Yeah.
in your?
Yeah, it's kind of like we kind of compress because it's a hard album. Actually, the music is
它
hard.
后面 it gets really
So
challenging.
yeah, 就是非常 very exciting, very hard. But this track is kind of like a sad ballad. Yeah, yeah.
Like liminal space.
Yeah, kind of a 就是有点忧郁，好像有一点点压迫，但是后面好像又长出一些东西来。
对，
这种感觉。
bit
那整个的 I think 的我有这首歌，然后所以我才从这首歌决定 title 这个album title 就是用这个。
So this song came first before the rest of the track.
它真的是第一首歌，然后最后也变成第一首歌。
就是我觉得 love or winning love 这个 losing 这种感觉 diminishing vanishing 这个感觉很适合，就用这种比较 depressed 的感觉去包整个东西。所以 if you look out the cover art and the photo inside the whole design, it feels like that.
It does.
Yeah, it kind of like a
It's like the moon is disappearing.
moody one.
The mood.
Yeah,
I would say it's very melancholy.
Yeah.
It's like.
And actually, I wrote this song, I think maybe 12 years ago.
What?
Actually.
Wow.
Yeah, it's kind of tricky. Yeah, because it's in 7 and it's very slow. Yeah, so somehow I don't really find a way to, the correct way to play that. You know, because sometimes your own composition, you still have to. You need to learn. You need to.
Oh yeah.
Experiment. How does it goes? Yeah, basically with different. With a different musician, different rhythm sections, it turns out different results.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So finally, when I met Suga Dairo, this pianist, Japanese pianist, and I find a way to play this song. Yeah, and especially with this band. Yeah, his new little one, piano, Suga Dairo. Hosoi Tokutaro, guitarist, and then Akimoto Hsu, drums.
Akimoto Hsu.
Yeah.
Okay.
These two are like 30.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. So Suga is nearly 50, and I'm 40 something.
Okay.
Yeah.
I see.
Yeah.
Wow.
And I think the other part. Next time when you listen to it, you can try to focus on the drum part.
Drum part.
Yeah.
Okay.
Because he's playing so free. He's not really like marking the time.
也没有在 7.
No groove, no beat. He just marking the emotion.
The free, the
wheel,
the
turning,
wheel,
yeah.
wheel turning.
And then in the last chorus, like the head out melody, while he really, so like
you'll feel
push my heart.
震到.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. Really,
12 years ago 的歌.
Yeah. So I spent 10 years, something like 10 years to learn how to play that song.
I have I get goosebumps from that because 我会嫌说来歌做完然后等6个月才可以发会来不耐烦。但刚刚听到说 it's like sometimes it's 10 years, before 对的东西到 to do it.
Or you finally you can face your own creation in a more distant way.
So it really is possible to make something that's too big in that moment, right? Just like
it's possible, or you just don't find. Yeah, it's kind of okay. You reflecting some of your ideas, but and then but you just don't feel. Maybe it's not 100% clear. What's that? Yeah.
Time and loading one.
Yeah, subconsciously maybe you got something, but you have to really feel that 100%. Yeah, sometimes it takes a while.
Thank you. Yeah, but that's a huge. I think it's a very healthy and positive reminder for anyone who makes stuff.
Yeah,
就是慢慢来.
Yeah. That's what like Pemathini, Pemathini says.
Oh,
Pianist,
yeah,
similar.
Pemathini.
He says similar things.
Just take your time,
it's like, 你现在做的东西，也许听这个音乐的人还没有出生。他说 something like this. Yeah.
Ooh, can you say that? 你可以再说一次吗？不好意思。
就是他I don't know how to say in English. It's like your audience probably is not there yet. Yeah.
When you created that song.
When you create that song, so if you have faith, if you have belief, if you have something you want to say, you just keep doing. Yeah. Maybe 20 years, 30 years, those guys will pop up. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Thank you. Yeah. No.
Thank you for sharing that with us.
It's very important to hear.
Yeah, it's like we listening for example Charlie Parker. I never met him.
Right.
Yeah, or Bach, Mozart.
Right.
Yeah, but we still appreciate their music, their creation.
Right.
Yeah. Yeah.
不行太快。
Yeah,
like,
we're still stunning by their art, their beauty.
That's true.
Of their creations.
It could last forever.
Yeah.
So why
Yeah.
are you in a hurry, right?
Yeah.
Like, okay.
Yeah.
Oh,
Wow.
that was a gem.
I
That was a gem.
don't even want to go anywhere from that, you know. But
I do have somewhere I want to go though.
okay, you could go.
Okay.
There was another time when
Yeah.
Minyen said something that was so inspiring for me that I want to ask you about that moment. It was at Jingyingjang, Jima 2023, last year. Speaking of gems, right? There was a moment last year in public when we heard Minyen say something on stage that was super inspiring.
Right.
And I want to first share that with the audience, and then I want to ask Minyen humbly, like, tell us more about that moment. So what Minyen said on stage was that all musicians will find their way to jazz. He said that when he received his award at Jima.
Yeah.
Yep.
GIMA Awards 金鹰奖，去年的。对啊。
Actually, it's also a quote from internet.
Right.
Okay.
Yeah, but I feel exactly like that. Yeah, because to me, jazz is not like it's not really about a specific genre or style or way of speaking or playing, phrasing music. It's more about deep meaning of equality, yeah, and 团队合作, democracy, yeah, and you can express. I mean, as long as you have enough like technique way to speak, and you can speak, yeah, you can. It's who you are and what does you feel at the moment, yeah, and then communicate, cooperate with each other, yeah, and I think and jazz musicians, I mean jazz is like you react to the 很单纯的就是 the element of the music, yeah, the groove, the harmony, or the ideas, melodies, phrasing, yeah.
刚刚听起来好像 it's like 意思是 it's also just a social thing.
It is a social
It's about
thing. And it's
socializing.
also a very pure thing. So you feel this like pure pleasant from the harmony,
Right.
or groove,
Right.
yeah,
Right.
yeah, or idea, yeah,
So-
melody ideas, yeah. So and experimenting, because with the soloist you don't know where he goes,
Right.
but you kind of like experiment 冒险 with the soloist.
Right.
Yeah, and sometimes you kind of predict that, wow, that's nice, and sometimes it goes to the place that is out of your thought.
Yeah.
You-
Right.
And you also got impressed by that. Wow. Yeah.
Damn.
所以其实我觉得其实是非常非常基本基础的音乐会带给你的感受，而不是像譬如说 if we talk about songs, okay, lyrics, meaning, or maybe specific 有些特别的，譬如说特别的 beat 或特别的 groove， 它代表一些特别的意思。其实并没有，就是在 jazz 里面，一切都是非常的 pure 的。对，那这个东西我觉得对所有的音乐家来讲，就是你如果 if you see yourself as a musician, you have deep love or a connection with music and you want to go deeper, finally you will miss that.
Right.
Yeah. 在 no matter spiritual wise or technique wise,
对
jazz 都是一个，我觉得是一个很好的。
It's like a fundamental language.
Yeah, it's kind of fundamental things, and it's a very scientific things way to. I mean, if you talk about like knowing music or music education,
Yes.
it's really one of the most scientific way to learn
Yes.
music.
yes.
Yeah, because you learn how to operate your instrument, and you learn how to create.
Right.
Yeah, and so you learn the theory, and then you have to operate it.
have to-
So you got
yeah.
the experience. Yeah. In the
Right.
same time, everything in the same time.
I see.
Yeah.
It's
So
like
it's way beyond. I think it's way beyond the any subcultures.
今天跟你讲完，我才 I feel like there's language about 就是这个 quote that's starting to load. It's like it's not about the music of jazz, because 那也不是一个存在的东西 but it's more that jazz is a language where people can be musical.
Yeah.
是这
Yeah,
样子
yeah, yeah,
It's like
yeah,
you're 你在把那个东西 invert.
Yeah,
其实
yeah.
不是说大家会回到一个 capital J 的 jazz, but no, if you're a musician, you dig deep enough, 你一定会 end up doing the same things. 因为爵士就是一个 how can people be musical 的一个
Yeah,
一个
yeah,
form,
and
right?
对，就是当爵士刚开始的时候也是这样，就是它 it's kind of like release out the possibility. You don't have to be
Yeah.
so academic to play music. You can be yourself. Yeah, you can just express. Yeah.
我想要 go
And
yeah.
Hip hop is the same
I feel,
actually.
well,
Yeah,
because
yeah.
like I feel like it's
Yeah.
just like the father or the grandfather of hip hop is like we're looking at the same
Yeah,
bloodline
yeah, yeah.
anyways.
It's same spirit. Like you don't have to really. I mean, nowadays you don't have to really know how to operate the instrument
Yeah.
to create music.
I feel like it's a great
Yeah.
it's like a great gift.
You don't.
know?
You don't.
Like,
You even have to know how to sing.
you just need a
You
laptop.
can just you just rap. You just read.
Yeah.
You just speak.
Yo,
Yeah,
man.
Yeah.
听到了吗? I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding.
No, but I mean, but it's like technology involved, and then people get more and more.
The relationship to
free.
the machine.
Yeah, the technology.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's kind of free up the human being actually. What
Yeah.
they can do, what can they express.
Yes.
Yeah.
Mm.
Yeah.
Yeah. I feel like that if music / jazz, right? Music / jazz is a way for people to be together and then release, find out who they are, and
Yeah.
also meet other people and find out who they are, and
Yeah.
share this information about who am
Yeah,
I.
yeah.
Then I just like this might be crazy for the episode, but I just think if you're in a culture where saying 我存在或我是谁 is difficult, there's a lot of cultures like that around
Yeah,
the world.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
Think about the importance of music like this in those social situations where you're not allowed to say your name and you're not allowed to say I exist.
Yeah,
那这个
yeah.
音乐在教我们做什么东西？其实是可以救命的一个东西。
Yeah,
You know what I
actually,
mean?
yeah,
Like,
you observe, you learn that from the American history, like how the black
Exactly.
people, black community,
Exactly.
yeah, they've been
yeah.
oppressed, been suffered, and then, but they still speak out
Right.
who they are. Yeah.
And they share it. you
Yeah,
know,
and
the
they share
system,
it.
They share it
and,
with
and,
like,
and then it's not belongs to. I mean, it
So-
belongs to everyone.
Right.
Every. Yeah, yeah, become universal things.
Yes.
Yeah.
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 Wow.
Well.
It's music about freedom.
Yes.
Yeah.
Right.
Wow.
Yeah.
About freedom.
Yeah.
Clip that. Yeah. Thank
Yeah.
you. Okay. Let's. I feel like we closed that. There's a very, very deep conversation to be had around all of these subjects. But again, today we are on an episode, right?
Yep.
So thank you guys for checking out that conversation. Our final question for
Yeah.
Hsieh Minyen is coming up on October 6th, 10月6号, Joe Trane, the entire gang, is
Yeah.
about to head to Eco Art 流行馆, 就是在
Yeah. 花博,
Right,
yes.
right.
Yeah.
And for the first time, we're going to challenge ourselves to do an like the largest scale 版本
Yeah.
ever. 8个小时.
Festival.
对，
Yeah.
真的是
yeah.
大的. Well,
Yeah.
I don't even know if we could call it a festival, you know?
It can. Yeah.
You think so?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
I think it's a full day of
Yeah.
different types of jazz.
You know, yeah,
Yeah.
就是整个
Yes.
整个规模要往上. So what I wanted to ask is, 你跟我们演过2次了 and at 非常不一样的时间点。第一个是
Yeah.
like Inception Born 的时候，第二个是 with like 1 year of experience. 那 what are you feeling for 10月6号？然后你最期待什么？
Well, this time I will bring my quartet. Yeah, so it's like a how's it 完整的 full band.
Full unit.
Yeah, full unit, full. Yeah, so. And then we gonna play the songs from Our in Love from the album.
5.
Yeah, so, yeah, I want to. I mean, I'm looking forward to experiment that. I mean, when we do these things and then with the audience, yeah, the vibe.
实验性的 the experiment of it in a
Yeah,
new
we
space.
will experiment for sure.
Okay,
yeah,
I
we
can't wait.
not gonna play like a record. Yeah, because
Right.
it's impossible to reproduce that.
Right.
Yeah. So we love to have an audience to join us.
Right.
To create a moment. Yeah.
Okay. So I guess for audiences come catch Hsieh Minyen and his quartet 10月6号. One thing's for sure is that it's not going to be like anything you heard previously. It's going to be an experiment. All right. Well, I just wanted to
try to do that.
Yeah. I just wanted to say today's conversation was, I think, one that we've been excited to have a long time. So thank you for sharing your time and thoughts with us.
I appreciate that.
Fresh from the mountains.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, still fresh. Yeah.
真的
Yeah, no alcohol, so bling bling bling.
Bling, bling,
yeah.
we clear.
Okay.
So yeah, I'm gonna hand it over to DJ 2KE.
Okay, so before we get to the last section of this episode, we're gonna play a song by 四足空爵士乐团 called Mambo No. 7. Right, so once again, that was Mambo No. 7, 慢波7号 by 四足空爵士乐团 四足空, and this is from their album in 2016 called 手牵手.
Just wanted to say that all of the music selection today was brought to you by DJ 2KE, and 2KE curated this mix in relation to Joe Trane and the story we wanted to tell about Joe Trane. So this next section in our final segment for the show is just from me and Nick personally. You know, we wanted to share more with everyone listening about what's happening on October 6th, what to expect, you know. So Nick, wanted to start by asking you, at this point, you know, what's on your mind about Joe Trane?
At this point, I'm just excited. It's like I'm excited for everyone to...
The artists are here, yeah.
Yeah, to see, hear, and feel what we have in store for everyone, you know. It's like all of our friends from the past 2 years who have been a part of Joe Trane are coming back to jam with the jazz dog, you know.
With that dog.
And it's the first time where we don't have to fit everything into 2 hours, 3 hours. We have a full day for all our musician and jazz artist friends to express everything they want to express. They don't have to compromise or squeeze the program into 30 minutes. Yeah. You know, so like we talked about earlier, it's about freedom, and we hope that we can provide that platform for our friends, musicians, and audience. Right. That's what's on my mind.
That's on your mind. No, and that same here. Thank you for sharing that. That is the goal, you know. We wanted to take the constraints off of it and make the biggest playground possible for everyone, you know. Right. A couple important details about the event, right? Just like logistically, if you're worried about who to go with or anything like that, the good news is there's solo tickets, duet tickets, and group tickets, all at discounted prices. So we really hope that, you know, music, I think, sounds better when you're with people. Sometimes it's
a very personal thing, but sometimes it's
right.
Yeah.
Choose.
Yeah, it's good to share.
Right.
Yeah.
choose the right people to go with you to the live show. Because 你选错的话 it's not going to be a good time.
I mean, you can go alone. You can go solo.
I mean, you can go alone.
Solo
You
can
嘛
go
，yeah,
alone.
solo
That's
很
true.
重要。
Most important thing is that you go, you know. So I'm just going to be straight up about that. Yeah, we got different ticket scales, you know. And 我觉得真的最难得的东西 is that because we're here today with an artist who's seen the start of Joe Trane, it's even clearer to me. It's like, it's not every day that you can build or try to build something new. And then the people that you meet along the way don't leave. You know what I mean? I think that's really tough, you know? Like, that's a really special thing.
True. Yeah.
So I think the fact that 就像你刚刚讲的 Nick said, we're bringing a lot of our previous friends and family back to this show. In many ways, it's the most important gathering for Joe Trane yet. So no small deal, you know?
And I just want to say, like, this next step for Joe Trane all day, right? It's only the beginning of a lot of things to come, and I just want to thank all the musicians, our friends who have supported us from the beginning. Special shout out to Hsieh Han.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
Without him, there would be no Joe Trane.
Zonghan.
He's one of the most important people behind Joe Trane.
Right.
So big shout out to him.
Big shout out to Zonghan. Okay. Final CTA. All right. If there's anything to do for everyone who's listening right now, what to do next? Well, first of all, get your information from Melting Part's Instagram. That's melting.part. Also, make sure to follow all of the wonderful guests and different groups that we've had on the show today. Toha Radio, Joe Trane, Minyen Hsieh, Taro Lin, and Worldwide FM. And thanks to them for sponsoring this time.
Okay.
Yeah.
And
we're going to head to our final music break.
Right.
I'm going to hand it over to DJ 2KE.
right. So the last song that we're going to share with everyone is a song called What If, and in Mandarin it's called 若我告诉你其实我爱是你, and it's by Joanne Baba featuring a trumpet musician from Japan called Takuya Kuroda, one of our favorites at Joe Trane. So please enjoy and have a good day.
Yeah, nights, whatever time it is and place it is that you listen to this.
Yeah.
Minyen is here with us too. Anything you want to say with the audience?
Come to the show.
Oh,
yeah, come to the show.
Yeah,
Yeah.
come to the show.
Experiment. Yeah.
谢谢. Thank you all.
你让我惊喜，你的自信，你让我压抑你的贴心，你已不是你，但你既要改变自己。我告诉你，我爱的只是你。像世界再也找不到。